feel like I haven't actually sat and like talked to a camera and recorded like this in so long. This video is ridiculous. I started filming it when we had the first rain during last summer's drought. And then I remember filming when we had the first snow last Christmas and thinking, oh my God, as if I finished the video when we had the last snow. No, it's many months after the first snow. But now it is finished, I think.
You're using your psychic powers. I predict it's going to rain. I think you might be right, Nana. How did you get in here? Just toddling along the floor. How did you manage that? As tempted as I am to keep you as a little pet and make you little hats and give you a little name and go on little adventures with you, I'm going to release you. Oh, it's raining as well. Bonus for you. There you go, baby. You okay? Is it too rainy? You okay? Oh, I'm gonna move you.
My mum's garden has become the highlight of spring and summer for me, particularly since having my daughter. The thought of it returning again reasonably soon, like the warmth and the birds singing and the grass that's dry and not muddy when we can sit on it and walk around barefoot. I'm so excited. That is what's keeping me going through the soggy, muddy days at the minute. And I try to romanticize them and enjoy them as well, and I do a reasonably good job. This year I've done a better job than normal. I really dread January and February in particular. I get quite depressed sometimes. Everything's just yuck, and I don't go out so much, and it's dark, and I don't feel I can be so creative because I'm really motivated by flowers and colours and nature. And I know winter's beautiful too, but like, really, I'm over it.
It is very hard to pour tea in such tiny cups, isn't it? With a fairy liquid bottle. Thank you. I'm going to put the lid on. Lovely.
My mum and stepdad found this old coal scuttle and asked me to do some boathouse inspired art work on it. So I did some looking on Pinterest and I decided to do something that was like inspired by that but a bit more pastel. I had no plan going in. I was just looking at some inspiration pictures and doodling.
Where did you get it?
Car boot, I think. No, Mum saw a sign. We were driving.
She always sees a sign, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I had to stop, and it was on the main road. Free.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, everything's free.
That rain hat's not really doing much, is it?
It started to rain, it got dark, and I didn't finish it. And part of the reason this video is so late, actually, is I really had it in my head that I need to have finished that project by the end of this video, or it's going to be really unsatisfying. And I just haven't bloody got around to it. Especially the phase of life I'm in right now. It's very hectic, running a business, got a baby, trying to keep my husband in one piece. Like, right now I just can't do everything and have everything, and I just gotta be chill. Maybe that's the message. I continued my never-ending attempt to sort my house out and keep it tidy.
So I'm just sorting through endless stuff. Hello, you. Are you a bit of stuff? Are you a bit of stuff I need to get rid of? Used condition, second hand, no refunds.
If you watched my last video, you might remember I mentioned some stressful stuff was going on with my house and a neighbour that we had some problems with. I used to really love my garden, and I've not been out in it for like over a year. My mum came around and helped us put up a temporary fence that would give us a bit more privacy. There was a little window of time after that, and when we'd also had like a, what would you call it, like a mediation that we wanted. And everything was at peace.
What was that?
Until it wasn't. My hopes have gone up and down, back and forth regarding this whole situation. Sometimes I think there is no end to it. Sometimes I think it's completely past and everything's okay. Where I am now, I don't think that mud kitchen will be finished until I move house. I have a new friend called Seymour. That's what I named my drone. Because he helps me see more, do you get it? I've barely had a chance to fly it and practice with it. I have to fit it in tiny gaps when I get time, when my mum can take care of Lana and when I've got the place to do it. And every time I get to fly it, it's so exhilarating. I'm hoping to incorporate this into my photography and offer mini films to people, so while they're having a photo shoot, say a couple's maternity one, while I'm doing the photos and film some little bits up close and some beautiful. Say they're on a hill and they're kissing, some sweeping shots of the drone going around them at sunset. Oh, just picture it. It's so pretty. Last time I made a video, I had just done, I think, a fairy photo session. I've done a bunch more photo sessions since then, and I'm so happy with how it's going. I now feel more excited than nervous going into it. I'm like, what are we gonna get out of this today? This is gonna be so cool.
Yes. It looks so majestic.
And I finally feel like my portfolio is becoming representative of what I want to do and what I know I can do and what I want to attract more of. Something that's really hard is attracting the kind of work you want when you don't have an example of you doing it. I've been wanting to do these sort of dreamy sunset maternity sessions for so long, and we'd only just got to the point with Lana where really I could do something at sunset, and the timing was just right, being sort of later in the year, the sun was setting earlier, and I finally got to do it. Immediately after, another maternity session, a super last minute one with lovely Helena. She was literally due like that week, and she was like, can you do a photo session for me super quick? And I was like, I would love to. Then the last one of the year I got to do was in December. Shannon does a very good job of pretending she's not very cold, but she was totally up for it. She let me steal her shoes. I steal everyone's shoes. Everything looks better without shoes. Everything looks more romantic. Shannon and Austin, it was a beautiful couples and pregnancy announcement shoot, and I'm just so happy, and I'm so excited to do more next year and see what I can do. I did something I have always wanted to do last year. I did my first market stall as Little Doe. I spent loads of money making the market stall look pretty, obviously, and definitely didn't make that back. But I didn't want to do it to make money. To be honest, I hope this doesn't sound really arrogant, but I didn't need to do that because my business does okay online. But I wanted to do it to meet local people, sort of edge my way into the local creative scene, and to see people's reactions to things in real life, because I never get to see that, and my imposter syndrome tells me that every time anyone opens a package they're disappointed, but they're just too polite to say so. And it was so exciting seeing people walk up and like their faces light up and point, you know, what little things they pointed at and they liked. That was the best thing for me, showing people my stuff, I guess, and getting a bit of validation, because I had started to have a bit of a crisis of faith in myself around that point as well, and wonder if what I was doing was any good. And it really helped that day. I was so nervous. We had chairs behind the stall, but I couldn't sit down. I just stood there the entire time, and it was so windy, really windy, that I was holding the tent down most of the day.
Yeah.
My life has been about cabbage lately. Loads of cabbage. Every day I go and buy all of Iceland's cabbage, and if they've run out I go to Tesco. They're probably really confused. It makes me smile to think of them tracking their inventory and being like, we've had like a 700% increase in cabbage sales. Alex's ulcerative colitis has been terrible lately. So in desperation we're trying this cabbage diet, but it involves juicing a lot of cabbage every day. Rewinding a little bit, we got married in 2019, we got pregnant almost immediately, everything was like a fairy tale, so perfect, so lovely. 2020 comes around, we all know what happens there. COVID comes along, lockdowns come along, Alex's father passes away from cancer, Alex loses his job. He spent the next 2 years, I was going to say working on himself. A lot of that time was actually just finding the energy to work on himself. There was a lot of just actually not being able to participate in life and just being absent. I felt like a single parent, honestly. I will ask him if it's okay for me to say that and put that in. And if not, I'll cut it out, because it feels horrible to say, but when depression has your partner, you can feel like you're alone. He started going to see a therapist. He'd been to see a couple before, hadn't done any good. This one was a private one, it was really expensive, but it worked, and he was great, and they had a really good relationship. We managed to get some funding for it, and that's run out now, so he's not seeing him anymore. But he got him to such a good place, and Alex started going to the gym, and then he got a new job.
Did that feel it?
Yeah!
Oh
wow! Yes!
We were really excited. I was excited, if I'm honest, to have some of the weight taken off me. I am a maniac and I love working all the time, every evening, and not really doing anything else, but it's hard. Being a mum while doing all that is the hardest bit. He started that job in November. He's had a really bad flare-up of his ulcerative colitis recently, and now he's been off work for quite a while. I don't want to say too much, I don't want to jinx it, and I don't want to, we're just not feeling hopeful again. And I have like butterflies in my stomach. I'm afraid it could so quickly tumble right back to where we were a couple of years ago. And it was a long way, like getting out of that hole. But I'm trying, and he's doing so good. It feels like walking a tightrope, and at any point, Tomb Raider Chronicle style, we could be like, "Wah!" But so far so good. Wish us luck. I'm thinking about trying to do something with my Patreon again. At the minute my Patreon is basically just a vault of old extra content, but I want to take on more of the burden of the family, to be honest. He needs to do less. He would love to be 100% supporting the family, but he can't. I already do a lot, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I need to do more. If all these voice clips sound a little bit different, it's because I've been recording them over the course of, 6 months at this point, in different rooms and things. So that's why. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Honestly, I've got like an hour's worth of footage, and I just didn't want to overwhelm you with loads of stuff. This one is the equivalent of a photo dump on Instagram, I suppose. This is a life dump of some stuff I've been up to. I've probably said it last time, but I do really want to make videos more frequently. I'm hoping that as we're coming up to spring and summer, that's going to get a lot easier for me, because I'm outdoors a lot and things just feel more beautiful, and I just want to film more. So I am hoping to be a bit more present on here again. I'm nervous about it. I got used to not seeing myself and hearing myself so much, and I feel like I've really changed. But I love making videos, so I still want to do it. I am going to do something. I also, like I said, I want to revive my Patreon to support my family a bit more. I could come up with a million ideas, and I have in the past, but then when I try and actually pull it off while also keeping up all the other stuff I do, then I'm like, oh, I actually don't have like all the time for this. So the key is finding something exciting and cool that I can actually manage and not overwhelm myself. I'll talk about this in another video soon, but I've kind of helped my family start 2 small businesses recently. We've been doing a lot of work on that, even though there's not a lot of it online yet. I've been doing a lot to help them, so I've been running my own small business and starting another 2 with them and doing photography and working on products and everything. It's crazy, but I love it. I want to do even more. I would love to kind of have a business where I help other people start small businesses. I just love having something creative to work on and a goal to work towards and making pretty things, ultimately. So I will leave you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.